Hey folks, welcome back to the Classic FASERIP podcast. This is issue 35. It's been a long time since we had a podcast. I'm going to say like 3 years now at this point, since we actually had one. Well, it's back. And I'm Vince, your host. I'm sitting alongside, well, you may have remember a voice from the past. He was on a couple shows in I don't know, around 5 or 6 season, whatever season that was. Geoff, the Geoff.
Hello.
And adding to the Geoff, we also have Rick. Rick, how are you, man?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on.
Well, Rick is going to fill in the third seat, and we're going to see how we're going to do this. This show will mostly focus on going over some, some of the rules. We're going to follow the basic revised rules of the Blue Book. It doesn't mean it'll always stay that way, but we're going to try to go over things like modules and rules and everything. So we're going to pick something each show and just kind of go over it and just chat about it. And that's when you guys come in out there in the audience that's listening in. You can give us feedback, send in questions. You go right to our website, classicfaserip.com. I revamped the entire website from HTML scratch. So please go over there and check it out. And you can see the contact details for how you can get a hold of us. Or you can just, contact us on the side. A lot of people know how to get a hold of me on X or Facebook or Discord. Anything just to let us know some feedback. And head over to Apple Podcasts and you can rate us there, or Spotify, because we're on Spotify as well. So today, we're going to talk a little bit about some rules starting on page 42. And those rules are going to be talking about running vehicles. It's something that we've never really talked about that I could recall. You don't recall anything, Geoff, do you?
It's not too often that we run across vehicles in a superhero game.
No, and they're relatively simple. And the reason why I picked Basic Revised Edition is it's a matter of it's a simple base to start. It's
basic.
Yeah, it's very good. It's basic. And
basic and revised.
Okay, we're gonna disconnect Geoff. He's no longer on the show. No.
Boy.
Yeah. But it's a basic good starting point for the game for new people and for veterans to actually be able to play the game and not have to worry about various things. The advanced set and I think you said this before the show, Rick, it was more fluff than anything else, right?
Yeah, I mean, advanced added a lot of complications, and I think it just needs to be cherry picked.
Yeah. So we'll add things here and there and just talk about it. But let's focus on vehicles today. So you got a whole bunch of vehicles here in the game, and most of them are land vehicles, but you do have some water and some flight vehicles, such as planes and stuff. And obviously a good superhero game will have a mix of different things. And rarely do you see people use vehicles. I think I ran the superhero game I should say supervillain game that I ran for that time. I don't think I ever really did any vehicle chases or anything. I think we had a boat one time, and maybe there was a car, but there was no actual real roles for it because it was kind of more of a story thing. Really remember.
I don't remember any vehicle mechanics, and I've listened to that podcast like several times.
Yeah, but so there's 4 different categories in the basic revised, and there's the price, the control, the speed, and the body. So the price is obviously how much it's worth for when you want to buy it. And the control is the equivalent of agility. So if you wanted to be able to turn or maneuver the vehicle, you would have to roll that or your agility, depending at the time, whichever's lower, which I found interesting that they picked that. You guys have any insight maybe on that, maybe why you think they may have done that?
Well, I mean, I want to go back to the price and understand that when you first decide that your characters want to get a vehicle,
yeah,
you have to do a resource check. And resource is something I noticed that a lot of players use their dump stat on.
Yeah, they do.
And so instead of buying yourself a Quinjet or a Fantastic car, which I don't know if you can actually buy a Fantastic car, you might have to stick with roller skating.
I mean, it's just... I think the reason why people do that a lot of times is because I personally, I don't like the resource stat. I hate that. I hate that. Even D20 Modern did something like that. I know that you...
wealth.
Yeah, with the wealth system, you don't actually have a range of money. And it just never stuck with me. I've always just been like, you know what? Let's do real-time salaries and give people money and let them earn money and stuff like that. and then in time in game you get a certain amount of money and stuff like that. I'd rather do that than have the resources rank. But I can see, using it here if you want. But
I mean, the resources rank is kind of like the most basic of basic.
yeah.
Instead of quibbling about, oh, do you have $1,000 for this particular item? It's like, all right, you have a job. This is your resource. Roll to see if you can actually afford it. Either you succeed or you don't succeed. It's something one of those topics where it's more of a background thing rather than because this is a superhero game. You're not going to worry. Can I pay my bills for this week? I mean, unless you're Spider-Man, of course.
Yeah, true.
I like the fact. I like the fact that it gets it out of the way, like you said, because a superhero game shouldn't be about like you said, paying the bills or loot or however you want to look at it, accumulating things. It's just it's a background thing, kind of out of game sort of thing, unless it comes up as a tool for the GM to use,
which is funny because
to move the plot forward.
It's funny because they emphasize being able to hold down your job at the same time too. So
right,
but resources is this afterthought. Being able to go to your job on time and stuff is perfect example of why I didn't like it.
It's good as a role playing tool for okay, this is sitting at your job while this is going on to complicate the plot line and everything.
True.
Yeah, it kind of muddles the gameplay a little bit, so that's why I said it's mostly just background stuff.
And I've also started players with things like, oh, you have a motorcycle, or you have a car, just because I didn't really want to deal with it.
Right, exactly.
And I know a lot of GMs that have done that, so yeah, go ahead, Geoff.
It makes it easier when you're not going through buying equipment and what do it helps you get the game going.
Geoff, you had something?
Right. No, I mean, like I said, it's more or less just a background thing. If you want to go into more I would say more hardcore play, yeah, I can see you want to involve the characters in a more resource dependent type of gaming. But yeah, for your most generic games, I wouldn't even worry about it too much. But then this is what the situation I'm talking about. It's can you even afford it? Roll, boom, done.
And then if you fail,
guess you're gonna stick with a taxi cab and roller skates.
And if you have a superpower, you fly. If you're hopeful you have that, or use your webs if you're Spider-Man.
Right.
And then further looking at the table and the explanations, price being the resource rank of the vehicle, everything higher than remarkable is only available through special dealers or tech people or builders anyway. So it's going to be a role-playing situation, to be able to get things like a Quinjet or a military or
I don't think you're going to be going
anyway,
to the store buying a tank. So
exactly.
Hello, I'd like to buy one tank, please.
Oh, here you go, sir. Just put your credit card in this machine.
See, I passed my resource check. I can afford a tank.
I do also like the fact that they added in the vertical takeoff for the planes, because obviously you've seen that in so many comic books that that just any type of jet and or plane seems to be able to just lift off the ground and then fly away.
Oh yeah, Quinjet.
Yeah.
The Blackbird.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It's always in cartoons that they did those things, or comic books they did that. In real life, we still haven't figured out how to do it just yet.
But also, I just wanted to throw this in there too. When it comes to the price, it also includes like gas and maintenance. It's like, can I even afford gas? Well, it kind of comes in with a price. If you could afford the vehicle, you could afford the gas. Now, ocean liner might be something different, but that's monstrous level.
Oh,
can I get something like ocean liner today?
Oh, I gotta fill up the gas tank again.
Military jet 2, monstrous price.
Hold on, let me go to the gas station and fill up my military plane.
Well, you know how it is.
I need some combat grade jet fuel.
I remember back in the day, back in the Fantastic Four days, they had, Fantastic Four had to go against Magneto.
Okay.
And Magneto has his Magneto car.
Yeah.
He pulls up to a gas station. He pulls up to a gas station just to diss a gas worker. He's like, he's all ranting and raving. Gas worker's like, so you want to gas? He's like, fool, my car doesn't run on gas. It just takes off.
Jeez, yeah. Yeah, they always give him some good
the
lines
old-
there. You're right. Okay, so back to what these cars and vehicles, whatever, have control, speed, and body. Obviously, speed is how fast the vehicle moves at top speed, and you can obviously go a little bit faster by pushing the limit on any vehicle you want, but it's usually just by one step. And then body is just the material strength of the vehicle, like the body armor or whatever that protects the people inside while being attacked, or if they crash into something or whatever, or something crashes into them. Now, back to my original question before Geoff went on his resource rant. Control feats are basically say that when you're doing a control feat is when you're trying to maneuver a vehicle in a way that's not normal, or you're trying to maneuver it quickly. You're using the control of the vehicle or your agility, whichever is less. Does anybody have any thoughts on why they did that?
Now you brought up the point, like why do they use specifically agility as opposed to like I would say intelligence,
Like dexterity falls under dexterity. Yeah,
but no. The reason why they would do that is more or less the hand-eye coordination aspect of it.
right. But why are they deciding to pick the lesser of the two is what my question to y'all is.
I would say that's to illustrate the physical limitations of a given vehicle above versus the I guess superhuman enhanced agility. I mean, superhumans often exceed even the best, like let's say high performance sports car. So yeah, superhumans are going to often exceed those physical capabilities. I've always thought of it as take the lesser, because otherwise it illustrates the fact that you're just going to break a vehicle or crash it.
So they pick the lower of the two for not only the ability to maneuver the car, but the limitations of the car or vehicle, I should say, or the
kind of a physics thing, yeah.
Or the limitations of the person maneuvering it, because say you're driving your car. Jeff's driving his mini car to work, and the control is good, but apparently Geoff has poor agility. So shows the ability that Geoff does not know how to handle his car in our situation when it comes down to making a sharp turn or getting out of the way of something. Correct?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, Geoff, you had something.
Marvel does this with a lot of things. Including like physical damage too. It's more or less a dam holding the river back. Which one's more powerful? It doesn't matter how fast the river goes. When it hits that dam, it's only going to go fast as the dam will let it go. When it comes to the agility, the reason why I choose the lesser of the two is because, like what Rick said, if someone's ability is less than the control of the car, then it's limited by the person's ability. But if the ability is better than the vehicle, then it goes to the dam reference, where just because you're really good at something doesn't mean that object will allow you to do such a thing.
I see. Okay, so they have some optional rules here as well. I don't think these rules should have been optional. I kind of think these should have been included with the rules, as in a rule for it. But they have an acceleration and deceleration where the vehicles take 2 rounds to either accelerate or decelerate, depending on what speed you're going. I think that should have been just an actual rule, because it makes sense. I mean, it takes a while for certain vehicles to get up to their top speed, and you wouldn't be doing it instantly.
Yeah, exactly. It all depends on the engine of it. I mean, you're not gonna get a 4-cylinder, or was it an 8-cylinder? A 4-cylinder to go up to max speed like right off the bat. Maybe an 8-cylinder.
It really depends on the car, but still.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
It makes sense to me too, because even in world of comic book physics, as I refer to it, you have to take into consideration some things. They're just not going to make sense, and accelerating even for a small light vehicle, it takes a certain amount of time. It's just that's why superpowers are fun. Those speed powers, it's like instant acceleration. That's part of what makes it cool, having those powers.
Mm-hmm. But no, it's like a a Toyota Camry versus a drag racer. Yeah, your Toyota Camry might be new and it might accelerate pretty fast, but it's not going to keep up with a freaking drag racer.
No, definitely not for an acceleration off the bat. Yeah, 0 to 60 in 3 minutes. I don't know. Maybe not that drastic, but
You got the Flintstone car. You have to kind of kick your feet around before you can actually go anywhere.
Yeah, like the electric bicycle.
God, yeah. What did you guys think about the stoplight optional rule that they had of rolling dice?
The stoplight. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. It makes sense.
I actually like it because it throws that random. Who hasn't ever driven through traffic before and in a hurry? Yeah, that's a great complication for a superhero game.
I never would, Rick. I never break the law.
Well, that's about breaking the law here. So
I've just said being in a hurry, and I wasn't talking about breaking the law. Who breaks the law?
I know.
Not me, definitely. Not me.
Well, for those listening out there, it basically you roll a 1d10, and on 1 to 4, the light is green. And then the next time you roll, it's any other result turns into a yellow. So,
according to the book, it's yellow is on 5.
Right.
6 through 10 is on red.
Right, but I'm just talking about the next roll. I was reading it as written in the book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So 1 through 4 is green, 5 is yellow, 6 through 10 is red. But they have stipulations that say that if you roll the green, the next time you roll again, it would be any other result is just going to be the next result, which is kind of weird how they wrote it. So I don't know why they wrote it like that, but whatever. But so and then
it makes sense when you put it all together, but at first glance, it's like
they should have just kind of left it roll 1d10. If the light is green, it's green. If the light is yellow, then maybe roll 1d10 and I don't know. It's a little confusing, but like you said, if you actually do it and play it, it works.
To be fair, having encountered Mr. Geoff Grubb a few times, that writing is how he explains when he's GMing.
Oh, that's
so it makes sense as to how he would demonstrate it. But yeah, that's kind of the way he writes.
Yeah. And obviously running a red light would be an actual control feat because you'd have to use your agility to avoid, or the car's agility to avoid the oncoming traffic or the opposite way of traffic. So in case you want to do one of those things, I would say probably
if you were Corey's Uber George character, you would just like, I'm jumping out of the car and let it crash and then just shapeshift and disappear.
Yeah, true. Very true. So let me put a little situation out here for you, and then you guys can answer. And Geoff, I'll pick you first if you want to go first. If you don't, just I'll have Rick go. But let's say I was driving my car, and you're the GM, and you had the light turn red. But I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I want to go through the red light and go into oncoming traffic.
Well, I mean, the first thing I would do is definitely see if there's even traffic. I mean, just because a light turns red right off the bat doesn't mean the traffic starts right away. Or there could be light traffic too. So take into consideration, depends on if you're on in Manhattan versus if you're in Smallville, Kansas.
Wow, two different universes.
Well, even then, the same traffic laws apply, right?
Yeah.
So if you're going through downtown Manhattan on, let's say, 10 o'clock at night, you're not going to fight as much traffic as you are during rush hour.
Have you been to Manhattan?
No, I've never been to Manhattan. What's Manhattan like? You know what? Welcome to the travel podcast.
Yes.
We're going to talk about Vince's ordeals in Manhattan. Go ahead, Vince.
The ordeals in Manhattan are... No, I'm not going to talk about that. But I can assure you, traffic in Manhattan, especially downtown Manhattan, it doesn't matter what time of night, is a shit show. So that's all I'm going to say.
But you understand
I've driven through Chicago.
References.
Yeah. All right, so let's back to the situation.
Okay.
Let's say I'm running through the red light. You determine that there's light traffic. Now I'm like,
All right,
I
it's light
want to,
trap.
I want to go through to try to lose the tail, go through oncoming traffic. You know how they always do that in movies. The bad guy tries to go through oncoming traffic to get away from the cops or whatever.
All right, let's say you just hit. I rolled a 5. It's yellow. You're approaching the light, and just the next turn, which takes what a minute, not even that. The next turn is going to turn green. So you're coming into traffic just as it starts. I would make you roll an agility check at a moderate level. Let me see.
So yellow.
Yeah, I would give you a yellow to determine whether or not you were going to hit any traffic.
Okay. And how would you handle it, Rick?
I'd pull out the old random die D6, and I would roll and make a determination, whatever I felt like at the time. Let's say, based on the situation, or 2, there's going to be some oddball traffic thing that happens. Somebody, taking off. Somebody doing something dumb. 3, 4, 5. It's going to be normal, and then a 6. Something else positive for you would happen, and then I would move from there into the control check, depending on your speed, where you're at, and just kind of wing it, go from there.
Okay. So
It
you're
also
just
depends on
yeah.
the type of day and the type of year it is too. I mean, the time of year it is too. Like say,
weather too, yeah, absolutely.
yeah, weather is a big
Aha.
orientation.
So speaking about weather, it's our next little kind of bullet point
Whether
here.
or not,
Yeah. So how do we include weather in these roles? Are we column shifting, or are we going to make a certain level? Because me personally, I would probably use a column shift or two depending on it. Like if it's a dry, normal day, I would probably just maybe column shift it up because there shouldn't be too much problem with the ground. But if it's raining out, I would column shift it down. If it's snowing and it's icy, maybe 2 column shifts with a higher roll. What do you guys think? Rick, I'll start with you this time.
You pretty much stole the words out of my mouth, and because of the way the game works, it's set up
Excellent.
really easy to do that. Just you're going to make column shift easier or column shift harder depending on the situation. Perfect sense.
So you do how and Geoff, would you do the similar, or you have your own method you might use?
I mean, it depends on the situation. If it was like depends on the severity of the conditions. Like if you're driving through a hurricane, trying to get to the evil doers lair before they kill the hostages. Yeah, you're gonna calm down a few levels, but it also depends on, like, say, puddles or ice on the road.
Right.
For that, the ice on the road, I wouldn't calm down as much as I would make it more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it considers the condition of the road versus the conditions, of the weather. If you get the wind blowing, it doesn't matter how good you control it; it's going to push your car left or right. So that it's
Depending on
going
what
to make
size.
your column shift go down. But if you can see, the ice on the road or snow banks or whatever, that just makes it more difficult rather than the environment controlling the car.
All right, let's say I'm driving a Mack truck and I decided I wanted to go through the red light. There are a couple cars in front of me and it's snowing out.
Are you turning or going forward?
Are you the hero or the villain?
I'm the villain, obviously.
Then no difficulty problems whatsoever. Just plow right through them,
Okay,
Joker
cool.
style.
Awesome.
If you're the villain, if you're the hero, and you're in the Mack truck, and you're chasing the bad guy down somehow with a Mack truck, yeah, you're definitely your column shift's gonna go down 1, and it's gonna be a little bit more difficult because you're in a Mack truck speeding down the highway. It doesn't matter really the weather conditions or not.
Well, let's just say the Optimus Prime was in the area and I need to get somewhere, and he's like, "Hey, dude, hop inside me."
Bumblebee.
Yeah. Bumblebee, hop inside me.
Well, go on.
Was that Bumblebee saying yes? What the hell was that?
I think you can handle a lot of that with. I don't know, as a GM, just kind of having in your head or in your notes, how many column shifts you're going to do,
right?
For a negative, and then okay, the wind's blowing and it's icy, and he's making a hard left or a hard right.
Right.
Okay, it's going to be this much more difficult.
The point being of these little exercises was just basically to show people out there how easy it is to adapt the rules to the situation and make a decision on how you want to roll with things when you play your game. The game doesn't break like other games, like say Dungeons and Dragons. You may have to, make a ruling, but then again, you have to consider, is this going to break the game going forward? With this, it's not really going to break the game. It's just going to be like, okay, we're going to do a column shift, and okay, cool, you made it, or okay, you didn't make it, you're dead. So
you killed Bumblebee.
Bumblebee, you're dead.
Is that how Bumblebee dies?
That's exactly
dies like a baby goat.
To be honest,
yeah.
That sounded like how the in the original The Fly movie when the Fly guy died.
With Jeff
the
Goldblum died?
1950s.
Oh, no. Not that one?
The original black and white ancient movie.
Oh, okay.
I think that was a Twilight Zone type of thing.
Yeah, I think it was. You're right.
No, their original 1930s, the original movie of The Fly.
Welcome to the Nostalgic Movie Podcast starring Rick. Tell us more about this Fly.
It stinks. Oh, sorry, wrong show.
Buy my books.
Yeah, a little critic there for you, joke. So obviously, when a vehicle hits 0 for the body armor, the vehicle is unusable. Now, taking damage. What?
Kaputski,
yeah. Taking damage on the vehicle. Now, it doesn't really specify, at least I didn't see anything off the top of my head. I was reading this before, that if the body gets down too far, does it affect any of the stats? Obviously, you would say it should.
I mean, that's more of a
GM call,
DM kind of GM call
or a judge call.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty much I mean, if you wreck hard enough, where the body is 0, you total the car. You could spend a lot of money or a lot of time trying to fix it, but it's never going to be quite the same again.
But my point I was trying to get at was obviously wrecked 0, Baba doesn't work. But let's just say Rick is playing his character. He smashes into a couple things, and now the villain is still getting away. Rick's like, screw it, I'm going to go after him in this car. Obviously, he took a lot of damage to the car by smashing into things. The body's reduced. That's going to affect the control, wouldn't you think?
I think you definitely use that for dramatic effect.
I mean, you don't have to. Yeah, true.
Make the player spend that karma.
There you go. Rick's all about spending that karma, apparently. So,
I mean, can
you
karma
give it to him,
affect the response of the vehicle itself?
It's a superhero game. Of course it could.
If you spend karma to affect your, to do a reroll or to, affect a column shift, I mean,
those were my house rules.
Part of the spirit of the game.
Those were my house rules.
If I save someone from a burning building,
true.
that will make my car work.
That may be an advanced thing.
I believe the way karma really works was not the way I was using it in my actual play. I was doing it to give incentive to make people actually burn the karma because they refused to use the karma.
I was going to say, I think the what I was talking about is part of the advanced game anyway.
Maybe. I don't know.
So let that be a lesson to you folks. Be a good person and your car will work the next day.
Yeah, that's definitely how it works.
Yeah. Be good or be good at it.
Since we've been talking about this the whole time, chases, we didn't really kind of determine how you would do chases. Like if I was chasing after the villain, how do we handle catching up or, losing him or something like that? And the rules really don't talk about that at all. They don't talk about chases.
Definitely not in the basic
version.
I wonder if there is a more in-depth book we could go reference. But say you have this book, say this is it, and it pretty much gives you whatever you need for basic role play. I would say
determine the vehicle.
You would determine a vehicle. Determine what vehicle the the villain has versus whatever the players have.
He's driving Optimus Prime.
Let's say the bad guy has a Lamborghini and your hero team requisitions a taxi cab.
Okay, so luxury car versus sedan. They both have good speed.
This determines also the amount of traffic. The villain also has to roll to dodge to go through traffic. Now, it's probably a little bit easier with a. Actually, it says the luxury car has a poor control versus a sedan with typical.
Yeah, I was looking at that too. Luxury car has worse control.
Wow. So
I guess we're talking about limo and
yeah, it'd be like a
Cadillac
Rolls Royce versus freaking taxi cab. But in normal fashion, you might have to stat out your own bad guy vehicle for this. But let's say the villain's vehicle is better. Just because it's better doesn't mean that there's less traffic on the road or the weather conditions are any better.
No, it also depends on the roles too. I mean, well, for example, say the mini car, bad guy's getting away in the mini car and we're chasing him with the luxury car. Granted, his control is better than ours. He could still fail rolls and we can catch up to him. Like, for example, I would handle it based on control rolls. And so if I wanted to catch up to, say, the bad guy, we both would do a roll off. And if we both got greens, no progress. The bad guy gets a yellow, I get a green. He gets just a little bit further than I do. And then it's just from there, moving it back and forth and having a whole chase. So that's how I would handle it, at least.
I would probably handle it similarly. And again, I would throw it. If you burn some karma, you could end this chase a little more quickly.
Welcome to the Burning Karma podcast with your host, Rick.
Hey, burn that karma, man.
That was literally the entire conversation we had before you joined us, Geoff, was Rick talking about burning karma.
Like burning calories, but you gotta burn karma.
Yeah. Okay, so
it's like taxation in D&D. You gotta get that gold, that value out of the player's hands.
Yeah, that was why there's a whole section in Advanced Dungeons and Dragons about taxation, which nobody ever uses, and it was a really good podcast that people liked what I did. But anyway, yeah, so that's basically the vehicle rules. They're pretty basic, and there's a lot of ways that you can improve it just by using these rules. And that's one of the best reasons I like Basic Revised. It leaves you so much room to do whatever the hell you want. Sure, Advanced is great.
We're not done yet. We still got to talk about wrecking and body damage to a vehicle.
We just did.
No, I mean, the rule being if a vehicle of the person crashes versus being crashed into, like say an armored car versus a sedan, whose body is higher when it comes to a crash. Say you crash into the villain using your Mack truck versus their sedan. Who's going to take damage?
Obviously, the sedan is... No, I mean, the Mack truck is going to take the damage, because...
Yeah, obviously, the Mack truck takes all the damage. It's a sedan, obviously.
God. You should know that, Geoff. My apologies. Continue.
In the rules, if the vehicle hits another object, it counts as a ramming attack against the object. So I think it would be whatever vehicle hit, let's say the armored truck hit the sedan, or the sedan hit the armored truck, it would be a ramming attack against the aggressor vehicle, or against the non-aggressor vehicle.
Defending vehicle, I guess.
Yeah, that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would...
even if that's the case, I mean, it also depends on the body of the vehicle. Like, if you have a bicycle versus sedan, and your bicycle is ramming the sedan, you're still not going to do a whole lot of damage.
Hey, you put a dent in my car.
Hey, you scratched up my fender. You.
Exactly.
Bike jerk.
I like in the rules that it says you usually use the item's material strength as its body armor.
Yeah.
In the case of a living target, so you can kind of work vehicle similar to how
vehicular manslaughter.
That's what it would be. Armored truck versus bicycle. Well, you're done. That's that's it.
And if you burn extra
You've got
karma,
no
you can
chance.
splatter somebody, according to Rick.
Goodness
I don't think there's
gracious.
enough karma to make a bicycle win against an armored truck.
But what if you
I'll
spend,
let you spend it though.
spend karma and get a red?
Jeez. That bicyclist really did that damage to the sedan.
And,
Okay, so what happens is the bicycle gets up under the undercarriage,
and Optimus Prime goes,
disabling the armored truck.
Boy.
Look at my undercarriage.
Oh,
Oh, Lord.
Okay, it says if a vehicle hits another object, including other characters, considering ramming attack against the object, in case of the unliving objects, take the item's material strength as body armor. In case of living targets, use either of the target's body armor or strength.
Mm-hmm.
So you could ram people too, not just vehicles.
Yes, you could.
why? No one's ever thought of that.
Oh, I know. Vehicular manslaughter is part of your game.
I mean,
One thing I
if
want to
you-
see on the vehicle table is the mobile category. But
but you've seen this in movies too, like in the Fantastic Four from the early 2000s or the 90s or something like that, where they had the guy from the Shield as the Thing.
Yes.
I mean, he shoulder blocks a was either a Mack truck or a fire truck. What was it? The shoulder checked.
yeah, it was one of the two.
That was what?
It was one of the two. I think it was like a box delivery truck, but it might have been a fire truck.
See, he stopped the UPS guy from making his deliveries.
Yeah. Hey, I got Amazon packages to get out. Well, too bad, buddy.
I'm the Thing. You.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, I mean, the body material of the Thing's body armor is greater than whatever vehicle he was shoulder checking.
Yep.
So technically, it doesn't always mean that there's going to be manslaughter. Technically, the guy in the box truck or wherever he hit should have died.
He was wearing a seatbelt and he had airbags.
Yeah.
You know, do they have airbags in box trucks?
I don't know.
That's
Someone do a Google search.
Welcome to the Box Truck Podcast, where we're talking about airbag support inside your box truck.
I like to support my airbags. in the box truck.
I'm sure we'll get an email from a UPS driver and let us know.
Sure, because there's tons of UPS drivers listening to us right now.
Welcome to the UPS podcast.
All right. Are we done now, Jeff? I don't want to, make you upset again. So
Well, what about aircraft and watercraft?
we don't care about those.
They don't exist.
They don't exist.
No, one thing that they don't have here
Yeah.
in the basic is there's no spacecraft.
Nobody goes into space. Come on, man.
There's also no underground vehicles either.
You mean underwater vehicles?
No, underground vehicles. I think there's actually is there a submarine? No, there's no submarine.
Oh, you
But
mean
yeah,
like
there's
a
Like a train?
man vehicle?
Like a tunnel, like a tunneler. You know, in Marvel, Mole Man does exist. No, he doesn't.
Who?
Not my game, man.
No, he's dead.
I hate Mole Man.
He got crushed because there's no such thing as a tunneler.
I think you can handle some of that with the option, like the high tech hero with the powers being part of his equipment, or I think you could budget that way if you really want to.
So you're saying there are some characters whose powers consist of
Tunneling.
their vehicle? Let me see.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Vince, do you know any
I-
characters that their powers are like almost a vehicular,
No.
Bumblebee.
or or maybe like a villain from Australia?
I have no idea who you're talking about, dude.
Okay,
Why don't you fill in the
Like
audience then
Reavers?
with your thought?
I mean there are, obviously there are heroes whose powers consist of a vehicle, like say Ghost Rider.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so he's got a motorcycle. Got it.
Or if you're Robbie Reyes, a car, and somehow you ride the car instead of drive the car. Or,
Wait, why is he riding the car instead of driving the car?
I don't know, his name is Ghost Rider, not Ghost Driver, right?
Ugh.
Foot surfing on a muscle car as Ghost Rider.
Or surfing on a surfboard like the Silver Surfer.
Okay.
Or robotic characters.
Oh, which Republic characters do you know?
Cyborg. Oh,
well, I mean,
wrong game.
you've got Transformers, but in the Marvel universe, the Reavers,
Reavers? Who are those?
Shh.
X-Men villains. Trying to remember the guy's whole name, the leader, Pierce. But they were all guys that got mostly hated Wolverine for
Being
getting
short.
chopped up and crippled up and losing limbs.
In the basic game, we don't care about that. Don't worry.
We don't care about that stuff.
No.
We don't care about the X-Men.
No, we love the X-Men. They're perfect.
Getting limb replacement, that's kind of a high tech. So your powers would come from your limb replacements, say tracks or spider legs or.
But who has
somebody building
tracks
a
and
centaur
spider legs
body?
inside the Reavers?
Silver Surfer, by the way, uses flight for his ability to fly on a surfboard.
I say, but what does he fly on? He flies on a surfboard.
The Silver,
If he doesn't have a surfboard, he can't fly, can he?
Silver Surfer flies by the means of a metallic surfboard made of unearthly strong material. Strength material.
See?
But
So
it's listed
it is a
under
vehicle.
flight, not vehicle.
It's still a vehicle.
Eh.
Because without it, he cannot fly.
Well, that's an example of how you can make powers work in the game, though.
Yeah.
So you could have flight being
Yeah, flight is not just flying
as a
through
tech
the air
person, so
like Superman. It could be, maybe you're flying on a daisy or you're flying on a bumblebee.
Bumblebee, take
Bumblebee.
flight.
Do I have to?
Get your ass up there.
I didn't want to.
Oh, God.
Sorry, guys, I can't fly without my Twinkie.
Beady, beady, beady.
Delicious Twinkie.
Oh, that Twinkie?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
That Twinkie.
Oh.
Twinkie.
Beady, beady,
I have to have a delicious Twinkie before I fly.
beady, beady.
Is that like Popeye with the spinach?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So, speaking of Reavers, go Bonebreaker, go.
So, our villain of the week, we're just going to move on to the next segment here because that's enough of that. Bonebreaker, that's going to be our villain of the week. We started doing villain of the week in issue 32 or 1. It was something that we came up with. I have to look back at the notes when we first started it, but it was something that we decided to do, just talk about a villain that kind of fit in with the theme of the show. I came up with Bonebreaker, and I grabbed a write-up of him from Ben Riley's site, which is an Angel Fire site, which I haven't seen in such a long time. Angel Fire. Remember that?
Oh yeah, that's going back a while.
He does some interesting write-ups on his site, and I like them because they're simple, straight to the point, and they've been up here forever. Like, I don't know how often... I don't even know if the guy updates this site anymore. Obviously, it's on Angel Fire, so he may not, but I hope that Angel Fire never goes away because then all this good stuff will be gone. But Bonebreaker's stats are basically excellent 20 for fighting, poor for agility, strength is...
He's poor.
Yeah, he's poor.
Well,
His strength is incredible. His endurance is credible. Not credible, incredible.
I've seen it before. It's credible.
Yeah. His resources are poor. And then he's got typical and poor for the rest of them. He's got a health of 104 and a karma of 14. And his resources are typical. But he has a negative 10 on popularity because everybody hates him.
Well, the Reavers are not nice.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. And once I get done with this, then you could talk all about Bonebreaker from your experience of reading him because you know him pretty much.
Yeah, he's met him in real life.
He does. Yeah, he hangs out with them, has tea. Cybernetics.
He's my sister.
He bangs your sister? What?
I said he was my sister.
Cybernetics. Bonebreaker is a cyborg and has the following power stunts: body armor, good protection versus physical and energy. He's got a tractor unit. His exoskeleton is linked to a tractor unit that can move a typical land speed 6 areas around over most terrain. And now, you had mentioned when you talk about him that he had an actual spider leg thing going on, so we'll talk about that in a second. He's got 2 machine guns, excellent shooting. His talents are crime guns and martial arts B. His contacts the Reavers. So, Rick, tell us a little bit about the Bone Reavers from your reading experience that you've had.
Well, one thing that you brought up that stuck in my mind, because I remember X-Men, like the 130s, 140s area, when the X-Men were in Australia and the Reeves attacked them and took everybody down and crucified Wolverine. And Bonebreaker was the tank tread guy back then.
Yeah.
And that would make sense with the poor agility. But I've never seen anyone do the stats for the later spider leg version, because I think that should increase his agility
by quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer the tank tread version because he's more of a, I guess, more of an offensive, attack block kind of guy, and opening up the changing the character by giving him the spider legs kind of helps. Character changes like that in general give a GM not only different tools but a different opportunity to utilize a character in an interesting, effective way.
Mm-hmm. So, what would you stat his legs up as?
I would say that. What? Pardon me.
What about his speed? What would he have?
I would say that would give him at least an excellent.
Yeah.
But it also, gives him some ability to. It would make his. If you were going to stat him like a vehicle and use him like a vehicle in that respect, I think you give him a better control. If you were wanting to use give him vehicle stats for a chase or something, because he could run up with spider legs. He could run around the wall.
Yeah, that's true.
He could run around the. He could run
leap.
Just maneuverability would definitely increase. If you were just doing him as a character versus. I think I would stat him. I would stat him for that purpose of vehicle speaking, as far as control and speed. Just to make it easier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But definitely have to give him, get rid of that poor agility and give him something excellent or remarkable.
Didn't the guy in that Wild Wild West movie, Will Smith, have spider legs when he ran around, or was that something else up there?
That was the villain guy.
Yeah, the bad guy.
The battle wheelchair. It's kind of the beginning of that curse.
Didn't he also have spider legs too at one point, or?
Yeah, at the end of the movie, he had this giant spider walker.
Yeah,
kind of doomsday machine.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that movie back then and going, "Why? Why did I watch this movie?"
I didn't hate it, but I remember the old show from when I was a kid, and no, just no.
Yeah, just no. That had the guy from The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. I can't think of the actor's name. Good actor too.
Mm.
Anyway, thank you, Geoff, for the picture.
No problem.
Anyway,
that's the battle wheelchair right there.
Yeah, true. Tell me about the Reavers, Rick. How did they come into play?
As I recall, the Reavers were more or less a bunch of people that Wolverine had sliced and diced at one point or another in his career and crippled up, and it was a team. Can't remember his first name, but his name was Pierce.
Yeah.
He put the Reavers team together, rebuilding their bodies with cybernetics and promising them revenge, and that's more or less what the whole thing was about. Let's get revenge against Wolverine and the X-Men because guilt by association and all that.
Yeah, that's true.
What more does a supervillain need? Hate that guy. Now I hate his friends too.
But I mean, the main villain of the Reavers is Lady Deathstrike, right?
She was involved with them too, but I can't remember. Not Sebastian Pierce. Maybe it was Sebastian Pierce. I think he was a member of at one point. Club? He becomes in the Hellfire Club. Yeah, he was been the main evil dude as far as the leader of the Reavers goes. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm looking in the Marvel wiki. Looks like Geoff, Lady Deathstrike. You're right. Part of the Hellfire Club, the Hellfire Knights.
The first members of the Reavers were originally members of the Hellfire Knights, the Hellfire Club's private military force.
I really like the Hellfire Club, to be honest, is like the bad guys, because they remind me of DC's equivalent of of Hive. They kind of remind me of that. they work behind the scenes and they're not too obvious, but they can be if they really want to be. And they have an inner circle like the Hellfire Club had. But,
I'll take your word for it. I don't read much DC stuff.
Oh, don't be hating on DC.
All right. Anyway,
That's anything bad about DC. I just didn't read it.
we all know Geoff doesn't read DC
because it sucks. I mean, that's all.
Anyway, so that's gonna wrap up the show for this week. Hopefully you've enjoyed the first show back. It's going to take us a little while to get a groove going, so please apologize to a little bit of the pauses as we get familiar with each other's cadences, so to speak. But you go to classicphaserip.com to check out our website. Go find us on various platforms for podcasting. You can also head over to YouTube if you want, and you could check out our shows there, because I put them up there as well, just audios. And I'll get you that link here, and I'll put it in the show notes. But we're listed under @FASERIP. So just go to youtube.com/@FASERIP. And that's our classic FASERIP podcast. We have 6 subscribers that found us. I don't know how they found us. I guess the YouTube algorithm. Yeah. Anyway, with that said, we're going to head out. Hopefully you have a great day, and good night for Geoff and Rick.